Welcome back to Lost Comms, where our number one priority is figuring out Shane's camera. You want to start again from the top?
Safety first. Good.
All right, welcome back to Lost Comms, where our number one priority is safety first.
It's safety. Please be safe, everybody. Please be safe.
We're your hosts, Juan and Shane, as the audience prefers it.
So here
we are.
I want to know where you got that information from. I did not see anybody in the messages or anything.
Well, hey, I mean, I'm just going off what the fans want. But
give the people what they want.
Yeah, literally, give the people what they want, which is more Juan.
I don't know, man. They said, "Hey, that dude with the muzzy, we need to see more. We need to see more of that."
Well, after all the hate we got from this first episode, I think I'm gonna black hat this podcast.
Wow, that was a big phrase. I don't know what that means.
When you black hat or white hat something, it means that you're either the good guy or the bad guy. I'm switching over to the antagonist.
Oh, that's fair enough. Hey, everybody. Well, I think we need to knock out some admin here, and God, we are so thankful for our wives. We love our wives.
Give it up for them. Yeah. I love you, whoever
Tawny,
you are.
I love you so much. Tawny is she is the best. I love her so much.
Oh yeah, dude. I love Julie, and she hates it when I tell people that. So I love you with all my heart.
Juan, where's your playoff muzzy?
Dude, I'm not doing that. I look not good with a mustache.
What do you mean?
I committed to the mustache when I was at officer school, the squadron officer school crap, and did not grow out well. I had a great time, but I looked not great. It's not for me. My face is too round for a mustache.
It's bad luck, dude. You gotta grow a playoff beard, and we're pilots. We can't have beards, so it's playoff muzzy season, dude. You grow the You grow the muzzy for as long as the season's going. What do you? Whatever. Hey, everybody. So Juan,
what's up, dude?
You want to dive right into it?
Sure, yeah. I mean, hey, week one, here we are. Everybody already saw the first episode. We got a lot to talk about.
Start of the race. We're lining up. Dude, I don't know about what was going through your head, but the nerves are real. We talked about the nerves as far as flying into flying into the area to start the race, but and then finally getting to the line and you see Phil.
I know, yeah, with this dude.
Oh my!
Wait, wow! I want to back up to that clip that they showed of all of us running onto the beach, getting ready to roll, and you and I going way out of our way to not get our shoes wet in the water. And dude, everybody else just fully committing to it. I'm like, you guys are gonna race in these shoes all day,
bro. That was what I'm saying. This is you're starting the race, which unbeknownst to us was a mega leg at that time.
Yeah,
and, you're starting the race, and here comes this wave just soaking your shoes, mind you. You got to sit in those shoes all day. You're not stopping to tie your shoe during the race. Sorry.
And they aired that episode and obviously the Amazing Race Instagram and all that stuff. And you go through the comments and you're look at the military guys going way out of the way to not get their shoes wet. It's yeah, dude, we got to be in these shoes.
Yeah. Oh, you like wet shoes? You like wet shoes?
Yeah. You're watching an hour and a half of this. This is 9 hours for us.
Not to mention that our shoes were they're nice shoes. They were nice shoes.
Yeah, I did not cheap out on my shoes. I wanted to be comfortable.
Sorry, I'm not gonna
being soaked.
I'm not gonna get my brand new Ultra Boost wet. Above anything else, the race, fine. But the Ultra Boost, those are gonna stay dry.
I may go home with $1 million. I will be going home with Ultra Boost.
Dry Ultra Boost. Dry.
Exactly.
Oh, dude. So the initial actions, as far as okay, so you're seeing. That was the realest thing ever, bro. Phil,
honestly, I getting lined up, I was I went from denial of I'm not really here. This isn't really happening. I'm not about to be on national television. And to that point where you see Phil take the stance and you're holy shit, it's go time. We gotta do this. And so then, I mean, it's like I said, it's walking onto the field. You're ready to roll. And I mean, Shane, you started out hot, dude. When he said go, you were at the lead of the pack. I don't know how you got in front. We were in the back. We started in the back. Nice, and you hear me in the camera. It's Shane, keep going. I'm right behind you. And that's funny because when they aired that, I got texts from a ton of buddies of mine, from a ton of buddies of ours. Ryan in particular, he's Juan says I'm right behind you, is not right behind him. I'm dude, Well, the floor was wet too, which is what sometimes people don't know. The floor was so wet, like the hotel tile, like after the beach.
Oh, okay. Oh, dude, that's true.
Slippery.
And there were teams that were falling. Like we saw that, unbeknownst to us. I don't know where you went. I don't know where you went.
I was behind the entire pack.
Like
precisely because of that, I got stuck in the back and people started falling. Like I think you saw like one person fall. Like 4 people fell.
Dude, I like Phil said go. We just started running and like I'm like, where's Juan? And then I just hear you like yeah, dude, go.
Right behind you.
Juan, you're supposed to be right here, dude. Like, yeah. Oh, by the way, nice shirt. You get a.
Oh, hey, thanks.
You plan that? Did we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're the green team. What am I gonna wear?
I don't know, man. I just like the color green. I didn't think we were, doing a thing here.
I remember when we found out we were the green team.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah,
and we're gonna explain why. We're gonna explain
because it was like, oh, green military. Like I know that's the dot somebody connected, and I'm like,
guys,
you should give. But hey, you know what? I actually like the color green, so I didn't really resist it too much. I was like, all right, whatever. I can roll with green.
It's my favorite color. I just I'm not a big fan of wearing it.
I'm a 30-year-old man, so I don't have a favorite color. But if I did, it'd be green.
All right. No, that's the wall in the background. Shut up. All right, so dude, we get out of the hotel and we're running to the cars, and Juancho thinks it's the best idea to just run to the last car in a line, so all the other cars are in front of us.
I want to give myself some credit first and acknowledge that once the camera cut from the hotel and then into the parking lot, you and I were in first place. So at some point, I did some catching up.
You did. Okay. Rewind. Yeah, you did. You caught up. I think it had to do with me like stopping at a tree and like having a sip of water, and then like you're finally like like a couple of minutes go by and then you were there. But
quick coffee break.
But we get to the cars, and Juan's like, Shane, let's go right there, and he starts pointing at the like last place car, like they're on a line, and I'm like. And like I don't know if you go back and rewatch the episode, you can see us like jink like hard enough and go. And I'm like, "What? No, let's go to the front." And by that time, people were already getting in cars. But lo and behold, it didn't end up mattering anyway because we ended up like 12th place. It was a slow start for the kids.
So yeah, hold on a second. Take it step by step. My process to getting that in that last car was this is the closest car to us. But what I didn't do was I didn't put together that we would have to drive past the people. And that's what you connected to that dot, and I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right. And then we started driving.
Yeah, then we started driving. Okay, so, dude, like, what was the one thing that you and I said that we were not going to... We said... we briefed to it last episode. But, like, we said that we were not going to do one thing in particular. What was it?
Yep. Follow other teams.
We're
not going to blindly follow other teams.
Big time. And that goes into hand in hand what like our number one priority was. That's a perfect lead in. Was we are not going to blindly walk. We are not going to blindly run. And we are not going to blindly drive. So like you see all these teams like take off and they're just driving. And like we get like a quarter mile like down the road and these teams are just going. And like they don't know where the Valadoras is. No. There's no way. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they did. But, like, so...
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the first clue said something about the malecón, which is basically Spanish for boardwalk. And so what I did was I started slowly just along the coast. I'm like, we're going to find a boardwalk along the coast as we're figuring this out.
It did say the malecón. And didn't it say something about the Valadoras in the malecón description? Yeah. Because... not Spanish speaking. Valador
I can't wait.
Apparently is like Spanish for flying. Thanks. I try really hard. Miss Dag, I'm really sorry. I didn't pay more attention in high school. 2 years Spanish lessons. I did take 2 years. I did pass.
Well, I mean, Spanish is my first language, but I would say that I'm predominantly English.
I wouldn't say it's your first language.
I thought you were gonna go a different way with that.
I don't know.
But anyway, whatever. The point is,
the amount of times I watched Spanish speaking. But we ended up like we're gonna stop. Like we're gonna stop and figure this out.
Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna just do exactly that. Exactly.
We're not gonna get lost, and that's what we didn't do, dude. Like we stopped. I think we stopped like 2-3 times. Like, remember we pulled out, dude, and we immediately hooked a right into it was like a Verizon store.
Some
It was
weird
like a phone store.
Yeah, you're right. It was a Verizon.
Or something, you know, like an AT&T store or something.
Sure. It was a phone store. I remember that.
Yeah.
Verizon sounds right. I can't remember. The point is, we stopped and asked for directions.
Which was really great because, you know, phone stores, they never have lines and everybody's just ready to talk to you when you walk in. And so we're like, hey, like somebody.
I think at one point I got in the line and I was like, and I go back to Shay and I was like, it's going to be like 10 minutes away. And Shay's like, we're racing.
We're racing.
I was like,
right
oh, wait, no, yeah, you're right.
Hey,
I think we went outside after that.
Hey, listen, these people are working for a living and supporting their families. We will wait our turn.
I was like way too respectful about the wait time.
So we essentially just got loud. We're both pretty good at that, me being Italian and Juan being Colombian. Our volume levels, you just get loud and people like, and so we just
listen.
Yeah,
whether they want to or not.
So the thing for me, like at this point, I realized that this was going to be a much different race than we had planned for because Juan and I, Juan was going to wear this race on his shoulders essentially because of where we were. Nothing else other than the fact that where we were. Like and dude, that first leg, man, like you can even see it. You can see it on the episode, like you're driving but you're doing what the people didn't see was like you're doing all the talking.
I want to give credit to like where credit where it's due, and it's that while I was talking, I was feeding information back and you were calculating. Because overall, you were navigating. So I said, this is what he said. He said to go this was this and this. And Shane's like, yeah, that makes sense. I see it on the map. And you started marking it down. Which
was a blessing and a curse on that leg because I mean, if you think about it, dude, like you're getting it sucked for me because I can translate like where are we going or I can speak like where are we going or and then hopefully the person like points, you know, and then I can go that direction. But so Wancho's like just it's his first language, so he's just spitting it out and they're talking back. I can't understand it, so like I'm waiting for my translator to tell me like where everything is, and that sucked because like it's like the telephone game. I wish I could hear it straight from the source so I could just go, oh no, 100%. So like not only did it take time, but like Wancho's like he's translating whatever he heard. He did a great job, but like I wasn't hearing it directly from the source, so that sucked in that right.
Yeah, and it was definitely. I mean, Shane says I carried it on my shoulders. I really didn't. It was more so like it was the burden of translation, which is exactly what he's talking about. You don't want to be the guy in the telephone game that screws it up for everybody else. And so it was like a lot of like me trying to get as much details as possible and like translating in my head to be able to pass it off.
And dude, I'm like trying to and to a fault on this leg anyway. Like I'm like Juan, and again, you guys didn't see this. But I'm like, Juan, like, what are they saying? What are they saying? And he's getting frustrated with me. He's like, stop, dude, I'm talking to them. And then like, and I'm like, God, and that was so frustrating for me because I couldn't help. I was helpless. I'm the one that's supposed to be navigating. Juan's very good at driving a stick. We alluded that to in the last episode that we did. But like, I'm supposed to be navigating and I can't help until like, what? So not only is Juan driving, but he's doing the talking. He's translating to me and like, I've got the map. That was a tough dynamic of that first leg for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's neither one was easier. I think they both carried their own burden. Like I was trying to make both happen, like Shane was saying at the same time. Like I think at one point we stopped at a red light and I pulled my window down. I started yelling at the car next to me. He's like, "Hey, where is this?"
Yeah.
They didn't love that. Yeah.
And I'm like, "What are you asking?" I'm like, "Please stop. Tell me. Did you ask him in English?"
Quick side note: we got a lot of comments about. So military members wise, like this is a complete accident that made perfect sense only after we saw it. We weren't wearing military uniform shirts. We weren't wearing the Coyote shirts.
Okay, Carson, Ryan,
they
Jimmy
did look like it.
Carson, Ryan, Jimmy, Kevin, Dan, like all of you guys, shut up. Like we're not wearing our military uniforms on the race, okay? We're wearing green shirts that we bought from like a nice company.
Nice, honest company.
Nice, honest company, making a good living. We bought them with our own money. We didn't get military-issued clothes, okay, to go on this race.
Dude.
They told us
But you know
green.
what's
We
funny?
bought green shirts.
When
Sorry,
somebody
I got
makes
a
that comment,
little upset there.
dude, I was like, holy shit, those totally look like freaking uniform shirts.
Yeah, but they don't
Like on
at all.
camera.
They don't at all. People are just like, oh,
man.
military, they're wearing coyote.
Yeah.
No, we weren't.
Yeah.
And
I
I
thought that was hilarious. I got a lot of heat for that.
I forgot my combat boots at home. Like I would have been wearing them too.
We wanted to wear our flight suits. Just kidding. Can you imagine? I would never be able to show my face in the military again.
So, dude, we ended up like struggling to find parking.
Yeah.
Like it was.
Oh yeah.
Everybody, like the amount of texts that I got during the day or the premiere, like, where are you guys? And like, I just ended up copying, pasting from each text message in all caps, exclamation point, trying to find parking. We never got lost on this leg, ever. Like, we never got lost.
It's true.
We were on top of the X every time. Like, every time. We were on top of it. We could not find in the first challenge, we couldn't find parking. The streets were full of cars. And so, like, Juan and I are literally just trying to wait out a car, like waiting for somebody to get done at the beach, which ended up screwing us.
Yeah, I would say that there was something to just getting in the car and going, because it ended up being a lot. Like geographically, it ended up being a lot more of a straightaway than we expected. However, I don't regret our dynamic, because I think we came in with that plan, and I was married to that plan, and I personally thought it was the plan to go with. And changing up our plan the day of is just a rookie mistake. So some people might have gotten lucky and might have gotten there a little earlier, might have found parking. But what Shane alluded to is correct. When we actually got there, which couldn't have been like 15 or 20 minutes after everybody else. But here's what they didn't show is we spent like an hour.
I don't think we were behind anybody, bro. Like the Verizon store, we'll call it the phone store. That hurt us. The phone store. I think we were there for like probably 10 minutes, okay? But like in the grand scheme of things, I don't like everybody else had to. We didn't get issued maps. They did not. The Amazing Race did not give us maps on that leg. So like we had to figure it out all on our own. And now you can go buy a map, but as you heard Maya and Rohan talk about, they're like, it's going to cost time. And really, once we asked that first spot, they're like, you just got to drive, hit the water, and then go south or whatever, and they're going to be right there. So like, really, you didn't need one. You just needed to go in one direction to get to the water. And if they tell you go east, you're going to hit the water. Well, that's easy. Look at your compass and like just drive east. So
at least we know we were heading the right direction. And what you're saying too is perfectly correct. To give the Amazing Race credit, is they give you all the tools you need. Like they don't leave you in the dark. If they didn't give you a map, it's because it's probably not required, which it wasn't. Shane is completely right. It was definitely a lot more black and white than we intended, than we expected. But overall, whatever. We got there, we screwed up with parking, and that's why we got started off at such a crappy leg. Because we saw it. We saw the Voladores. Remember that? We passed by them, and I was like, that's it right there. That's it. We just can't get out of this freaking car.
Yeah.
We finally get to the freaking parking, and we get out.
So, So yeah, like we spend 45. Dude, I don't know. I feel like we spent.
It was a long
40 minutes looking for a parking spot, and like finally, you and I are talking. We're like, dude, we just need to park like a half a mile up this hill and find a spot because like, and then just walk. And I think at that point, dude, that I think if I remember correctly, a spot opened up like right where we needed it to. Isn't that how it is? Or am I misremembering?
No, I think you're right. And because I specifically remember that like that circle we kept doing. Every time in that circle was at least like 15, 20 minutes. Every time that we did that, there was traffic.
Dude.
But we did that at least 3 or 4 times. And that's when you talking about us saying like, screw it, let's just park up the hill and run.
But Juancho, when we'll talk about this in a second, again, that did doing that circle a couple times, it helped us big time later on. We'll talk about that.
Yeah, it did.
So
that's right.
So, dude. So we finally found parking. We get out. We get to the clue box. There's 2 clues left. Like here we are. Like guys, we're not big headed as much as I joked with Juan last episode. We're not big headed individuals. Like we knew that this race like was going to be difficult. We did not think we had this in the bag. But like obviously we thought we were capable, but we know this race was going to be hard. And so, but with that being said, we did think that we were going to do okay. Like we
yeah.
like the confidence is key, man. Like in our career fields, like you got to be confident, and especially taking on this new task as far as the Amazing Race, like we had to be confident in ourselves. And like we studied, we briefed, we thought we were going to do okay, and then we get to the first clue box,
Bro.
and there's 2 clues left.
Talk about a giant hit in the nads, dude. Like it was, if nothing else, a reality check. And I think I think as soon as they showed that, they skipped immediately to like me saying it's like, dude, we were in last place. Like I was shocked. I was like, and I picked up the clue, and I was just like, and I just went back to everybody that on the buildup of going to the race, like our close family members were like, don't get last. Don't get last. And I'm just like, this is gonna happen.
A super deflating moment. Because like not we didn't get lost. We knew exactly where we were. We just couldn't find parking. And then we like we get out hoping that like if we're having trouble, everybody else did too. Nope. Everybody else had clues. They already got to the clue box.
Yeah.
And so that but not only are you do your studying before the show, you watch the episodes, you learn what you need to do. You're learning during the race too.
Yeah, dude.
You're doing
it's a learning curve
learning.
because you've never done this before. You've never done the Amazing Race. Everything you're doing for the first time.
100%. And so like we're learning, like thank the good Lord that we were able to have a positive learning experience on this leg, because like we realized like, hey, when push comes to shove, we just got to be athletes about it and make it happen. So like if there's not a parking spot, make a parking spot or go find a parking spot. Like there is like the answer, I can't, it's not going to work.
And that's another thing that I think too played a big part that they didn't showcase as much. I mean, there was obviously a lot of content. Thank God we had an hour and a half. That hour and a half felt like 10 minutes to me. I don't know how they could have squeezed so much in an hour. So I'm so glad that we were fortunate enough to get the hour and a half. But that's something else that didn't really make it on the screen is that thank the Lord, based on me and Shane's discipline and upbringing and training, like Shane and I physically have a second gear. Like we can really kick it up if we need to. And I think, and that's what you don't see a lot of, is that in between what we did know, and we were just like the in-between time, the drone time went a lot quicker because we were able to just sprint through it. Like we never stopped running. We were okay. But so being athletes about it, like really helped us fill in that drone time. And so that helped us out a lot. And it's not something you really was shown on camera. Like off camera, it gave us a little bit of the advantage that we might have been a little more prepared physically than maybe some of the other teams.
Yeah. And so with that being said, we get to the clue box. We open up the clue, and Juan and I are physical activity geared. So physical detours, physical roadblocks. So like we had a conversation with each other when we opened this clue, and we were like, we're taking the physical option. And so we open it, and it says, what did it say? It said,
I can't remember exactly, but it basically said, okay, cool, detour. So at this point, me and Shane are like, all right, dude, first detour. We're coming in strong.
Pick it up, or
holy crap, dude, you have a great memory.
It's just from the show. I did not remember. Just from watching it this week. It said pick it up or something else. And Juan and I and the reason why we're probably both blanking on the other thing is because we saw pick it up. We're like, yup, done, doing it.
Which actually leads into why we performed the way we did in the wrestling, and we'll get to that. But yeah, so pick it up, cool, let's do it.
So we start booking it, and like we're trying to 804 Calais.
Kaje.
No, Corona. Was it Corona?
Oh, Corona.
804. I don't know.
If it was Kaje, it was Kaje. It could have been.
I don't know, man. None of those streets had names on them anyway, so it's just.
Well, Kaje, yeah. Like Calle 84 is just like 84th Street. Like it was just like a blank, like a street name, like a blanket name, whatever. But so okay, sweet. We're heading that way. Our primary goal was to maintain our character. We did not want to become somebody that we were not for money. Yeah. And as far as this is a competition. I don't think that like lying to somebody's face or purposely misleading them or playing that kind of game is like honest. That's not honest gamesmanship.
And it's not worth it.
Correct.
It's not worth it. At the end of the day, like we're both God-fearing men, and we're both men of faith. Like at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Like if your heart is not pure,
it's not going to matter because it's not going with you.
No, judgment day is coming, and so like we didn't care about the money when it came to our character. So kind of getting into that, like Chris and Mary are like, okay, well we're gonna we said we're gonna sit together, and like as we're running down like or down the hill, like I'm like, Juan, dude, like where are we going? back to our whole point of we're not just gonna walk. We told each other we are not just going to start walking in a direction. I'm like, dude, where are we going? And he's like, I go, there's a dude up there. Let's go talk to him.
Yeah, and I think it shows me asking him for his phone, and so I had a hunch, right? I had this hunch in the back of my head that I was still working on developing, which brings us back to what Shane was talking about with the drive.
Okay, so Chris and Mary, they were like, well, we're going to go talk to somebody too, but they were either going to go talk to somebody else or they had already talked to somebody else. I think they had already talked to somebody else. And they're like, yeah, this person said we got to go this way. Juan and I are not going to blindly follow anybody. Correct. Like on this leg, we were not blindly following. We were going to trust but verify. Yeah. So like we trusted Chris and Mary, but we're running our race. We're not running. Yeah. We're not running any other team's race. So we're like, hey, we're gonna go talk to these people. So we go and talk to the guy at the top of the hill, and we look. Chris and Mary are going the opposite direction. And
and respectfully, like I completely understand. Like they're not. Why would they depend on us?
No.
In the same way that we wouldn't depend on them. So they 100%. They went off their own hunch, which was totally fine.
And so like before we start talking to this guy, I go, Juan, like Chris and Mary are going that way, and he's like, yeah, I know. And so we start talking. We start talking about start talking to the gentleman at the top of the hill, and he goes, yeah, it's down that way. And I look at Juan and I go, dude, we passed this challenge 3 different times when we were looking for parking.
And so I think what the confusion was that I think it mentioned a park. I think it mentioned like a specific park in the clue. And there were multiple parks. There was like 3 or 4.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So they were going in the direction of one park, which is totally on them. Right. Like they were right. Like they were going to a park. But Shane and I turning around the same area 5 or 6 times, we remembered the park that we saw weird things at.
We saw some weird things happen. We saw some like wrestling going on.
I definitely saw a real tall guy with an orange shirt moving around.
Oh yeah, dude, we did. We saw Rod Leticia.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, that's the park.
So that's when
but by that time they were gone.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, yeah. We were so far behind, bro. We were so far behind. And at this point of the race, we're in 12th place. So we're like, okay, like they're going that way, but like, and they were beyond earshot at this point. Like they're beyond earshot. Totally.
No, they were gone.
Like they were gone. Like we saw them heading that direction. We started talking to the guy. The guy gives us confirmation. We look, they're gone. So
I think it even shows them leaving while I asked the guy for like the phone. Like I think the timeline like adds up that way in the episode as well.
It did. And so like you hear Juan go like, hey, like I mean, obviously you want the best for them, but like this might help us out because like they're gone. Like and it does, guys. It's a competition. Like we were willing to work with every team,
of course,
on this leg if we needed to. It just so happened that they got bad information. And we didn't. Like it was a coin flip, guys. Like, and we had
literally,
and like we honestly, when we started talking to that dude, like we didn't know for a fact that that park where we saw the wrestling going on, we didn't know that was exactly where we needed to be. And then he pointed in that direction, and that's when Juan and I were like, we know where we're going. This is where it's at. Let's start huffing it.
So at this point is when the physicality kicks in, because now we know where we're going. We're behind the curve. We got to step it up. We got to put it in that second gear. And man, I think for the first time that day, that backpack really felt like 40 pounds.
All 32 pounds of it, brother, dude. Oh my God.
I was gassed.
Dude, you have these things in the military where like people are they train with rucksacks. Dude, that's what we had. And I have never ran in the military with a rucksack. We're in the Air Force. Like we are not in the Army or the Marines. Like we don't ruck. No. We're not special forces in the Air Force. Like we don't have rucks. But here we are with legitimately, dude, I think like both of our bags, like your bag may have been like 2 or 3, I can't remember if it was 2 or 3 pounds heavier, 2 or 3 pounds lighter, but like we were within a few pounds of each other. And like I know my bag was over 30 pounds.
Man, I don't know why I packed that dumbass water bottle, dude. That water bottle was the size of a minivan. Until that point, I don't think I had drank water at all that day.
No.
So it's whatever. So
yeah. And so anyway, but we start humming in the direction that we thought this thing was.
Yeah. And it was a lot of the same from earlier that day. Shane just trucking and me saying, I'm right behind you, and not being right behind him.
You guys got to understand.
We made it there.
You got to understand that Juan's a big dude, man. He's a big dude. I'm
a thick boy, dude.
His thighs are like tree trunks. So like he's hauling a whole lot more than that 30-pound rucksack. He's got a bunch of muscle on him, and yours truly does not look like Juan. So
my goal physique is for people to look at me and say, that guy's in shape, but he's also down to have a good time. And I think that's the message I get around. So we made it there, and I got a lot of shit for this upcoming part with where we started the wrestling. So I mean, all that happens, and we're getting information. We're directing ourselves. We're trucking. I don't think at any point we really stopped to read that second part of the clue because we were so committed to the horses that we were just like, well, they'll know some wrestling crap. We'll figure it out on the way.
100%, dude. We and at this point, Juan and I are like, we need to get there, and then we will read our clue. We need to focus on direction, like getting to the objective, and then we will figure out the next step. Unbeknownst to us, the next step started as soon as we stepped up to the ring, and we had not read the clue. And so, like, dude, the best line I think this show is gonna see, dude, is,
oh my god,
what the hell am I looking at? I don't know, dude. Just watch, bro. Just watch, because like. Just watch it, and then we'll read the clue.
And then it's we've watched the whole thing happen. It ends, and I'm like, well, whatever that was, it's over now.
Dude, that was
now
so
let's go figure this out.
Dude, so funny. I had so many people text me like, dude, Juan's so funny. I go, yeah, it's the only time ever you'll see Juan funny because he's not a funny guy. So, yeah, good job, Juan. You got your laugh.
Oh my god, dude.
But dude, that was so funny, bro. Like, well, whatever it was, it's over now. Dude, had we been in better spirits, because at this point, like Juan's a witty guy, so like he's saying witty things. Like you would have seen me die laughing, but like we were like defeated. Not only were we in second to last place, but now we have no idea what's going on with this roadblock. So that
what sucks that they didn't show though was our dynamic to nicknaming these guys, because obviously, and I think you see Ricky and Caesar doing this too. Is like
everybody
did
it.
Everybody nickname them because that's how you can reference them quickly.
Everybody did.
But bro, the names we were coming up with is like, I remember like Sandman,
Ghost Man,
yeah, Fire, Volcano Man.
Gold,
that to me was hilarious.
What was that dude's name? Like gold something, and like Blue Batman, Black Batman, like. Dude,
we went through the whole rainbow with Batmans.
Memory triggers, bro. Like that's just
yeah.
And again, guys, like we did not want to find ourselves at a detour where we had to rely on our memory. We just thought we had an edge physically, so we're like, memory challenge. So we're like,
Looking back though, I guess it was the easier one,
dude. That was the amount of teams that told us that day, like the amount of teams that were like, you guys picked the right challenge. And we're like, we didn't pick. There was no horses left.
We just suck. So whatever. Yeah, we get there. We start figuring it out. And then I think it was really funny that another thing that I got a lot of shit for was, I think I made a comment along the episode as soon as, like, once we were getting ready to get checked the first time, I made a comment. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure this is it. Hey, all of them were wrong.
Are you a pilot?
Why?
I don't know, man. There's a big airplane on your hat.
Oh, yeah. No, dude, come on. You know me. I like planes.
You fly?
On occasion. We submitted...
We'll come back to that.
We submitted... we were all completely wrong, but, like, as you could see, they didn't tell us what was wrong. They were just like, no, that's not it.
Right.
So also, like, could have been nicer about it.
Do you mind if I do a quick segment from our sponsor?
Oh, please do.
Oh, okay. Segment from our sponsor. Juancho's Bird School. Learn to fly with Juan. Have you often found yourself looking at the sky and thinking, I could be like those birds? Well, now is your time. Don't think. Just do. Juancho will take you for the flight of a lifetime as he teaches you how to be like a bird. DM Juancho now, because slots will fill up fast. Here at Juancho's Bird School. Payment includes takeoff only. Landings are not included. However, take solace in the fact that here at Juancho's Bird School, safety is our top priority. Safety first.
Safety first.
Safety first. Be safe.
What Shane isn't telling you that when I teach you how to be a bird, all I pretty much teach you is how to be a government drone.
Anyway, guys, just wanted to say thank you to Wancher's Bird School. We couldn't do this without him.
Couldn't have gotten there without you.
Yep. Anyway,
we're at the wrestling. We completely screwed up the first time. I think the second time we finally kind of picked up our pace, and we were able to. We were knocking a few of them out. There were like a few that we were sure about, and it was, dude, honestly, like, and they didn't do this part justice. It was hot.
Oh, so
like it was real hot.
Dude,
I just remember me being sweating.
Bro, I had belly sweat.
Yeah, I had
gut
sweat in weird places.
Gut sweat, like, dude, I had like a line, right here. I'm like, oh, that's cute.
I had to beat a neck sweat working its way down my ass, dude. But yeah, okay, so that along with us, like with the high paced up, I was like, man, I am gassed. But we got it. And what you guys? Okay, so the first time everybody runs out, we have no idea what's going on. We read the clue. We read the clue. Say that 10 times fast. Ready? Go. We read the clue. We read the clue. So anyway, we read the clue. And then time 2 comes out. They all run out, and we're like, oh yeah, we got it now. I think we got every one of them wrong. Like, yeah.
Okay. Oh, wow. Let's start naming them.
Boom.
And then,
as we're figuring that dynamic out, here come Mary and Chris.
Chris and Mary, and they're like, "What's going on?" So when they ended up breaking off from us, they're like, "Hey, don't forget that we helped you out." And like 100%, like we're gonna help you out. So like they show up, they're like, "What's going on here?" And we like break, and we're like, "Hey, like you gotta match the," because we had no idea what we were doing, and take a little bit of opportunity to help them back out a little bit, not as much as they helped us, but like just try to. Help them out, help them understand what they're looking at. Didn't see that on camera.
Right, they didn't air that part, and I think that's important to know. Not because I care about what they aired or not, but more so because I don't want to go home owing anyone. And even though at that point I think we genuinely thought we were the last 2 teams. Yeah. Like at that point it was like a fight to the finish. However, going back to like what character is like, dude, they legitimately helped us. We're legitimately going to help them, and then if it's a race to the finish, it's a race to the finish, and the fastest one will win. But we're not going to be scumbags, and I'm not going to go home owing anybody a favor.
No.
So I think that was the right call.
No. So anyway, I think we get it on like the 4th iteration of when the masked men, Black Batman, Blue Batman, Ghost Man.
Oh yeah. Sandman and
Volcano Man. When they run out.
I cannot emphasize this enough. We were not very smart.
No.
Kindergarten words.
Very much so. Like I'm surprised that there wasn't anybody of Mexican heritage that was like, oh, I know the exact character of it, because like in the U.S. like everybody can like they can I could point out Deadpool, I could point out Batman, I could point out Robin, I could point out, you know what I mean? And so like I think that's kind of the same way in Mexico.
I wonder if they were representative of like famous ones. That
I think they were
things you don't stop to like think about when you're like go.
There was no smelling the roses. There was get this done and move on. So we finally get it. We're pumped, and now we're like, okay, next. We got to get to. They give us our clue, and it's drive to the rodeo or to the rodeo.
How day,
ma'am.
That's a whole thing. You guys don't know about it, but it really pissed off a buddy of ours back in like 2020.
I still don't know.
Shout out to you, Ryan.
Yeah, I don't know what I said to Ryan, but how day, Ryan? What happened? What happened?
So basically, we took a family. No, I guess not. Like a boys' trip, like farewell out of pilot training. Yeah. And so we went to this water park in Waco that was phenomenal. It was like bring your own boat. Ryan was driving, Shane was driving. Shane was being a piece of crap. Doesn't tell Ryan where to go or park. Ryan shows up an hour later to the parking spot, livid, goes off on Shane. And Shane is in the truck bed with a beer and a cowboy hat on.
A water.
Had a beverage. Had some beverage that I don't know. But anyway, so he's on the truck. After Ryan finishes drilling him for like 15 minutes, Shane takes a sip of his beverage, takes his cowboy hat off, and is like, "How day?" And then all he sees is Ryan's like a ginger. He like just gets bloodshot red.
Yeah.
To be continued.
So
we're gonna ask Ryan if he heard of this later.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? This is a good testament to the boys. If you're not supporting, if you're not supporting the Lost Com show, then like, you know what?
Yeah, what are you
If
doing?
we don't hear about this, Juancho, we're just gonna keep ripping the boys.
Yeah, you
Just
do the
keep
same thing we
roasting
do
them.
for a living. We know you have the time to listen to this.
Yeah, exactly. It's an hour of your time. Not doing well.
We go and we find our car, which took us 17 hours to park.
Dude.
Yeah, and whatever.
Oh, okay.
But
so
now we shine. Now we shine.
we're ready. We're ready. Like we
Yeah.
learned from the last leg. Like, okay, we just gotta trust our gut. We're good with directions. Like, let's stop, ask for directions once, maybe twice, and like let's just get where we're going. So we get a direction.
You said last leg. I think you mean the first half of the leg, from the beginning.
What did I say?
You said last leg. Yeah,
Oh,
it's all still within the leg.
It's all still within. Yeah, it's all still within the leg. Sorry.
Yeah.
Second half of the leg, like we're going to the mat after this roadblock that we didn't know it was, but we had a hunch.
Sure,
just how the show goes, right?
Exactly.
So after this roadblock, and it's our last part of the leg. So we start driving. We get direction from somebody. We start driving, and like we can't find it. We cannot find it. We get directions, and we're heading in the direction of this rodeo. Howdy, ma'am. Heading in the direction of the rodeo, and we can't find it. Like, again, we can't find it. Like, we drive past it. We know we're past it because we know we're on top of it. The directions, they said that there's like a big cement wall. You're going to drive past that, and then on the left, you're going to see the rodeo. So I'm looking for this giant, like, stadium, like how rodeos are in America. No.
So you might interpret that as saying we didn't know where it was. If you show a map of Puerto Vallarta, Shane would have drawn a circle of exactly where it was with a pencil. It was physically impossible to look at, to see. It was hidden.
It was a cement wall with two rusty open gates. That was the rodeo.
It might as well have been a small dresser at the side of the road that when you walk into, it leads to a half man, half billy goat.
And so, like, we drive past it, and I'm like, Juan, we're past it. He's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, we're past it. Like, all these things. They said, if you see this, you're gone too far. I'm like, there it is. We're too far. Let's stop and get directions. So no, we stop and get directions. We stop at a gas station. Remember, we stopped at the gas station, and we're like, hey, where is this place? They're like, oh, it's a half mile back the way you came. We're like, yeah, we were pretty sure about that. Drove past it, couldn't find it. Stop at another gas station or somebody on the side of the road. Hey, where is this? They're like, it's a half mile back up the road. We're like, oh my God, we are so frustrated, dude. We did that 2 or 3 times.
I think the way it was like set up is that like that one road that like we started out at and then went as far as was like 10 miles. We drove like 10 miles down. As when we get to the 10th mile, they're like, oh, you passed it. Go back. So then we went back over to here, and then we kept going back
like
and back.
A mile. A mile.
We kept closing in the range until eventually I was like, dude, if it's not here, it doesn't exist. This is a giant joke.
We were on top of the X. The misconception here is that Juan and I were lost. Nope, we never got lost on this leg. Nope. We could not.
We knew where we were.
We could not pinpoint, find the stadium, the rodeo.
Yeah. Howdy.
Couldn't find it. I'm looking for I'm not well versed in Mexican culture, so I'm looking for this giant stadium. It's a rodeo. Howdy.
Those like trees. Howdy. So it shows it shows the entrance at one point. It flashes the entrance as somebody's driving into it.
Look,
that's it.
Go back and look at it,
was
guys.
Trees and that one door.
Yeah, and then there's 2 gates that were open. So I'm like, dude, yeah. I'm like, pull in there right now. We pull in, and there's cars.
But not a lot of. It was this place was a ghost town with the exception of the people that were participating. Well, so we saw our people.
We saw Focuses. We saw Ford Focuses, which was the car that we were driving. We're like, we're here. We get out of the car. We get up to the clue box. There's 8 clues left.
Yeah. And I turned to Shane and I'm like, is this a mislead? Did they put too many clues?
Bro, remember? We were like, no way. Yeah. No way. This is impossible. We just couldn't find this place to save our life. We spent 30 minutes on top of the X trying to find it again for the second time in the day. Trying to find it. couldn't find it, and then we finally figure out where it is, and there's 8 clues left.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what is happening?
6
At that
to
point,
9.
like, yeah, 6 to 9 clues.
6 to 9 clues.
Somewhere
left.
between that.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere between that specific range.
Yeah.
And I just like in the back of my head, I was like,
tech.
Like I was legitimately baffled. I was like,
Well,
I was like, we just got to do this. Like, there's no, we don't know where we're at this point.
Dude, the dopamine release when we got up to the clue box and we saw 6 to 9 clues left was like, we're back in this, baby. Let's go.
I was like, they're severely playing with my emotions, but if this is legit, I'm in, baby. Like I'm back. And then it slowly followed by like a moment of like stillness of like Roadblock. Who's doing this challenge?
Yep. And we didn't have much time to think. We just I'm reading it, and we're at a rodeo. Like probably not. I'm just like, dude, let me do it. I think this is gonna be a physical task, like something along the lines of like athleticism.
It was something about like lasso or something.
Yeah, it said something about something about lasso, right? And like, so I'm like hand-eye coordination. I'm like, just Juan, I'll do it. Like, and Juan's like, yeah, dude, you got it. Like,
oh yeah. We both knew when we read that part. Yeah.
So like, I run into the stadium, and now I see all the teams. And we're like, holy cow! I don't know how, but we're back, baby. We're back.
I mean, yeah, in my head, I was like, at the very least, we're ahead of 2 teams, assuming they didn't, pass us in the intersection. And now we're with 3 other teams, so at the very least, we're not on the chopping block, which is a lot to be said for not being on the chopping block on the Amazing Race. For Empire, obviously, was me coming from this like adrenaline rush to immediately like having to stand still and just being good support to Shane without helping him in any way, and it was just like, dude, it was torture.
On that leg, dude, like it saved our bacon. Like you saw other teams, kind of not read the clue, and
gave us an advantage for sure.
The worst words you want to hear from your partner while you're doing something is read your clue, reread your clue.
Yeah.
Because...
And I think at that point, like, I had your clue with me because I was, like, the keeper of the fanny, like, big fanny guy.
Yeah, dude, you are a big fanny pack guy, though. Like,
I am, yeah.
I'm not going to say you look good in a fanny pack, but you do like fanny packs.
Hey, man, I pack a lot of my fanny. What can I say? But so... Anyway,
the wives, Shane, by the way. Like, the wives are just amazing.
Hey.
Oh, my God. Shout out.
You guys are out here killing it.
Shout out, wives.
My wife is upstairs killing it right now.
My wife is at home with my son. I'm on an airline trip. She's at home with my son, just probably taking him for a walk. Beautiful day. Oh my gosh,
dude. Oh, dude, spring. Don't even get me started. Spring in Spokane is unheard of.
Shout out, wives.
Big shout out. Where were we? Shane, you started jumping that thing, dude.
Safety first.
In my head, I was like, Shane, always safety. Always.
You gotta be safe. Be safe, people. Tawny, I love you. Juliana, we love you. Safety. Be safe.
Always. Shane being like 6'2" with a Mexican hat on, with a sombrero on, I was like, he's not getting through this rope. Like you're not fitting through this rope. And then you somehow like squished yourself in like a paper clip. I don't know how you did it.
Dude, I just remember get small.
You remember the kid?
Get small, baby.
At the end?
Small. Oh, dude, I thought I had to jump through his rope, bro.
Me too. No chance.
This ain't working, dude. I'm going to have to swat your score fine.
Great. Like, and the fact of the matter is that, like, the entire cast seemed great. Like, you don't want to see anybody lose or go home or do poorly in any way. And so when that happened, it was like, dude, I saw the morale, like, just...
Dude, at this point,
like, damn.
I know. I'm gassed.
Bro.
Like,
I mean, there was... That day, there was a lot of times where I think you were dragging me. Like, I was gassed.
Well, dude, we had like a double cheeseburger the night before with fries, and you always got to get ranch and put it.
We were on vacation.
Yeah, we're on vacation. Yeah, exactly. Calories don't count, except when you're racing and diving through, lassos, and then they remind you they don't count. Calories don't count. However, they do.
We definitely earned that burger though. We worked our asses off that day.
Yeah, and the burger. We worked the burger off too. It was great.
Yeah. Thank God we went heavy on the food the day before.
Carb.
We didn't know it was a megalite. And now we had the carb.
I know. That's right, man. Yeah. Safety first. Like
safety first.
Safety
Dude.
first.
What are you doing?
And so you
What
just
are
gotta get ahead of the ball here. Like, be safe, eat the carbs, eat the cheese, eat the burger, eat the fries, get the ranch, double up.
Get another ranch.
Yeah, get on that level. You got to be on that level if you want to race hard.
You got to hit the pyramid, dude. You got to hit your saturated fats, salts, more saturated fats, carbs, and your ranch, dude. Come
eat
on.
Good, race good. Eat fries, race better. Eat ranch. Yup.
I think we raced that leg about as well as we ate the night before.
Oh, dude. We ate like kings, baby. And I'm not talking about kings the nowadays. I'm talking about like back in the day kings. Like, they look at a king and they're like, oh man, dude, look at that guy's barrel. And they're like, that's hot. That's the kind of kings that we ate like, dude. Fries, burgers, pizza.
I think we ordered food as if we were like decided that we were going home the first leg. We're like, we're just gonna get our freaking food in, baby.
Oh, dude. They gave us a menu with room service on it.
Yeah. Hey, big shout out to CVS.
Yeah, CBS. I'll take some of that, and I'll take that too.
James has this toxic trait about him that he loves ranch to a point where he orders like it's for the table, and the waiter will come back with like 10 ranches, and he'll like make a public announcement that's like, "Hey, these are all for me."
I would like to talk about that. My dear friends in pilot training knew this. Okay, they knew this. They knew this about me. I like ranch. Do you guys understand the health benefits there are to ranch? It makes you run faster. It makes you jump through lassos faster. It makes you read clues better. Like, there's a lot of health benefits to ranch. So
Shane's been preparing for this for a long time.
Long time. And so like take that and just like branch off and try to think like, what else can ranch do for you? That's what I thought.
You don't order fries when we go out to eat. You order ranch shovels.
So we get to a wing place with all the boys, and like, I got 20 wings. I got a bucket of fries too. Like, just had a long day on the golf course. Dude. Like, this is gonna be an event. Like, I had a hot dog at the turn. Like, but like other than that, like, I'm pretty hungry. Yeah. So I get like
the waters were flowing.
Yeah, dude, the waters were like had a lot of water. And like,
I was hydrated as hell.
So hydrated.
I needed some food.
I needed food and ranch. And so like, I get 20 wings. I get the French fries. I'd get like 1 or 2. I get 4 ranches because I'm hungry. The ranches come to the table. Everybody starts grabbing them. They know me. They know who I am.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude,
just order more ranch.
At this point,
no, honestly,
I realized.
No.
At this point,
You're
I realized
right. We didn't know this.
At this point, I realized that these people were not my friends. These people don't even care about me. I'm just somebody that they hang out with on the weekends. Like, they don't care. They don't care about my well-being.
And that's
they
what
don't care about
his master plan.
They don't care about my health and my goals. They don't care about anything. Sorry. Anyway, I'm back. Took me down a dark alley there, Juan.
Dude, ranch. I will say, for what it's worth, Shane always has ranch at his house, which is a big plus. Every time I go see you and we have pizza, I know you're gonna have that.
It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. It's not the same as freshly made buttermilk ranch that you get at a restaurant. And if you go to a wing spot, they got that best ranch.
It's true. Also, if you prefer blue cheese over ranch, just go ahead and check yourself into an insane asylum.
Yeah, you're psycho.
You should not be an operating member in society.
You're insane, and I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah,
I don't want to be your friend. I don't even like you. I don't like you. I don't like your morals. I don't like what you stand for. I don't like anything about you. So the point is, we get our clue. We start huffing it back to the car to start heading back to the. It says the last team to arrive at the mat will be eliminated.
Will be eliminated.
And
I think they had mentioned something in the beginning where they're like no eliminations. I think Phil made an announcement about that in the opening scene.
It was no non-elimination legs. Yeah. So Wancho, go ahead, Bo.
I was gonna say, so we knew what we were fighting for. We felt better than we did going in, but we knew what we were going after. Go ahead.
Like, we're not last. Tell you that much. We are not last anymore.
Exactly.
Like, there were a fat stack of, call it 6 to 9 tech.
Just about.
Yeah.
Anywhere between 6
and 9 envelopes when we got there, there were 4 teams doing it. So like we know, like just by the math, we're like, we are not last. Didn't it say we had to go back?
Correct. Yep. Headed back to the Monaco one. Yep.
And so like, I was like, we worked our butts off navigating there, and I'm like, Juan, dude, I'm like, you were the one driving. Do you remember how to get back to Monaco? And Juan's like, yep, I got it. And I'm just like, all right, dude, you got it. And so like Juan just gets us back.
Well, hold on a second. I stepped foot on the mat, and my first thought is, what place are we in?
Yeah.
And so I start mathing it out in my head. I'm like,
Phil said it too, man. He's like, what place do you guys think you're?
And I was like, the first thing I blurted out in my head just by the quick math, I was like, 8th.
Yeah, yeah. We thought we were like, middle of the pack. We thought we battled back from the bottom. He's like, you're in 4th place. Keep racing.
And I'm just like, okay, so a couple things happened, right? At first, I was like, how to start? Yeah. How do we go from 12th to 4th? Awesome. And what the hell do you mean?
Well, dude, it's because you ran so
out of your back pocket.
It's because you ran so far ahead of me to Phil on the mat, dude. You just like you just placed us in 4th, man.
You think I passed a few other teams along the way as I was smoking?
100%, dude. Dude, 100%. Like, just there goes Juan. See ya, dude. Yeah, don't worry, dude. You got it, brother. Thanks.
Oh my god. I'm sorry you're not more physically able. Yeah. I think we're ready to wrap this up with a quick segment of Juan's hot takes. All right, so Juan's hot take of the day. I think looking back, I mean, Shane and I were not obviously performing well enough to have tried this or have gotten this opportunity. But looking back, the horses seemed pretty doable. Like I'm looking at the freaking wrestling, and I would have still rather done the horses instead of the wrestling.
That's a spicy take. That's a spicy take.
That is a spicy take. I don't think the other teams are going to agree.
I don't think they'll agree. I don't share that with Juan. I don't share that spicy
I don't know. I was like, there's wheels. I'm not saying it was easier. I'm just saying it was equally as difficult, and it would have taken us the amount.
Juan, you're going to get a lot of hate for this in the group chat. A lot of hate.
I'm curious to see what the other players' take is.
Just want you to understand with your heart, I do not share the spicy take.
I want to caveat that with, we didn't perform anywhere near well enough to have gotten that opportunity. So, asterisks. We're in 4th place now, which is cool because like now we at least know. That's the cool thing about the mega leg is like you kind of control where you start that second leg, and so now we know we're off to the races in 4th place, which isn't bad.
Right.
But that was that. That was episode 1, leg 1.
That's right. Yeah. So, everybody, this has been a ton of fun. Like, we had a ton of fun. I hopefully you enjoyed the first episode.